both young and old, can get their fill of the sweet science 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a vast library of over 1,200 events from boxing's most memorable bouts of all time, Boxing TV melds the past greats with today's promising young stars. Boxing TV is the free go-to destination for everything boxing, including classic bouts, live events, and news and information. Boxing TV is available on Local Now, Distro TV, Sports.tv, Select TV, and www.watchboxing.tv. Follow Abrams Boxing on social media at Abrams Boxing on Twitter, Abrams Boxing on YouTube, and at Marc Abrams Boxing on Instagram. I'm Marc Abrams, and welcome to another edition of the Abrams Boxing Show, powered by Watch Boxing TV. So we have a big week ahead of us. I'll be in Brooklyn this weekend. We'll get into all that stuff with Javonta Davis and Rolando Romero. I'll be joined by 130-pound fighter Luis Melendez, who will take on Eduardo Ramirez on that aforementioned Javonta Davis, Rolando Romero pay-per-view. Also, Kalvin Henderson will be taking on David Morrell on June the 4th live on Showtime. I get a chance to catch up with him. Actually, he snuck up on that, even though he was in town. I was at a weigh-in, and he just happened to be standing right next to me. So let's get right down to everything going on in the world of boxing. This past Saturday night, a lot of stuff happened. A lot of fights happened. Janibek Alum Kunalai went to 12-0 with 8 knockouts as he took out Danny Dignum to win the WBO Interim World Middleweight Championship. Janibek, he's a real issue. He's a problem. He's a very talented fighter. People thought that maybe Demetrius Andre didn't want to fight him. I mean, I don't know the situation there. Andre wanted to, I guess, test the waters at 168 pounds. But Janibek is, he might be the best middleweight in the world right now. I mean, Jamal Charlo is still one of the guys. Gennady Golovkin for the next couple months, I guess, will call himself a middleweight until he goes up. And that was announced the day of this tape. It looks like he, not announced, but speculated. Mike Coppinger, ESPN.com, says that Canelo Alvarez, Gennady Golovkin 3 will take place in September. But getting back to Janibek, he's a really good fighter, and he destroyed Dignum in round 2. Time was 2:11. And we'll see what the future holds for Janibek. I'm very interested to see the progress of him and where he's going to fit in at the top of the middleweight division. Also on the card, Jermaine Ortiz, basically retired former WBO Super Featherweight champion Jamel Herring with a 10-round unanimous decision. Scores are 97-93 twice and 96-94 for Jermaine Ortiz, who goes to 16-0-1. If, in fact, this is the last fight for Jamel Herring, he'll finish with a record of 23-4. Herring, one of the class acts. I want to get him on the show in the next couple of weeks. Definitely one of the class acts of boxing in terms of, guys being world champions. Always has time for everybody. And, obviously his stint in the Marines is well documented. Everything he gave to this country, everything he gave to the sport of boxing. And I'm sure will continue as he's, developing into a nice analyst on the top-ranked broadcast network on their international feeds for fights. So Jermaine Ortiz, the Janibek fight and the Ortiz fight took place live on ESPN and was from the Resorts World Casino in Las Vegas. So that place is one of the new properties there. Tremendous property is the Resorts World in Las Vegas. Saturday night on Showtime, David Benavidez scored a convincing 3-round beatdown over former middleweight champion David Lemieux. That fight was in Benavidez' hometown of Phoenix. Benavidez, I would love to see him in Canelo fight, but it looks like more likely we'll get a fight with either Benavidez taking on a guy like Caleb Plant, maybe one of the other PBC heavy what am I missing here? Super middleweights come the fall. Maybe a fight with Plant would be a hell of a fight. I would like to see that fight. So the time of the stoppage was 1:31 of round 3 for Benavidez. He looked just tremendous, beaten an overmatched, undersized for the weight David Lemieux. A couple of fights also that happened over the weekend. Super welterweight J.J. Metcalf won a 10-round unanimous decision over local favorite Carmen Larahaga. Larahaga now 34-3 with 26 knockouts. Metcalf 23-2 with 14 knockouts. Larahaga was on his way to maybe getting a world title shot until Metcalf came into his hometown and upset the apple cart there. So Carmen Larahaga. Also, Saturday, Joshua Buatsi defeated Craig Richards via unanimous decision. The scores there were, let me just grab my sheet here, was 116, 112, 115, 113 twice for Joshua Buatsi, who now he'll stake his claim alongside Gilberto Ramirez and a couple other guys that are in the running to fight Dimitri Bivol. And now, since Canelo seems like he's going to be fighting Gennady Golovkin, you may see a Joshua Buatsi Dimitri Bivol fight. Friday night in Plant City, Florida, Jean Pascal, the former light heavyweight champion, scored a bit of an upset. He defeated a lot of people, especially after the positive test and long layoff for Pascal. Fenlong Mong was supposed to just run right through the Canadian former world champion, but Pascal scores the knockdown in round 9, wins unanimous decision 116-111, 115-112, and 114-113 for Jean Pascal. On the same card, the Pro Box TV debut featured the Last Chance tournament, and Kendo Castaneda knocked out Sonny Fredrickson in the first round. He'll take on Joseph Fernandez, who scored an 8-round unanimous decision over Jiming Wang, 77-75, 78-74 twice for Joseph Fernandez. Last week's guest, Michael Dutchover, went to 15-2 as he scored what should have been a unanimous decision, but it was a split decision over Clarence Booth. Scores were 78-74 and 77-75 for Dutchover, and 77-75 for Booth. He'll take on Antonio Moran. Moran advanced with an 8-round unanimous decision over Jeffrey Torres. Scores were 79-73, 77-75 twice. So Moran will take on Dutchover. Fernandez will take on Castaneda. Those fights seem to be happening, I believe, in the first weekend of August. So check your local listings. We'll definitely catch everyone up to date on when the semifinals of the Last Chance tournament happens. This Saturday night, live from Brooklyn, New York, the Barclays Center. First fight in a few years at the Barclays Center. Javonta Davis takes on number 1 ranked mandatory challenger Rolando Romero in what is being built up as a grudge match. Romero's talking a lot of smack. Davis actually has been pretty good during this promotion, as he's just taking everything in stride, letting Romero talk all the crap he wants to talk to. I expect a big outing on Saturday night from Javonta Davis. I think he gets a knockout in the first half of the fight. Romero's going to bring it, but I don't know for how long he's going to bring it, because he's going to walk into something that I don't know if he's seen before. So I think that Javonta Davis gets a big win on Saturday night. The undercard features WBA middleweight champion Erislandy Lowers. He takes on Gary Spike O'Sullivan. Jesus Ramos takes on Luke Santamaria in a little bit of not a grudge match, but Santamaria defeated Ramos' uncle Abel earlier this year. So Jesus Ramos is going to be looking for a revenge. And also what figures to be a good action fight on Saturday night, Eduardo Ramirez takes on Luis Melendez in a 130-pound fight. Ramirez is a guy who's been on a little bit of a roll. Melendez is coming off his best victory win over Thomas Matisse back in November. I had a chance to catch up with Luis Melendez, and this is what he had to say. Now joining me on the line is 130-pounder Luis Melendez, who this Saturday night takes on Eduardo Ramirez as part of the big pay-per-view Javonta Davis against Rolando Romero, live from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, live on Showtime pay-per-view. Luis, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy to be in this position. thanking God every day. I'm ready.
Well, we're a few days away from this big fight. What are your thoughts coming off your big win over Thomas Matisse? Now parlaying it into a big opportunity on Saturday night.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my thoughts are that it's just a great opportunity. I'm blessed to be in this in this position right now, and I'm gonna take over. That night I'm gonna go in there, knock the doors down, kick the doors, and I'm gonna come out that night as a superstar.
Eduardo Ramirez is a fighter who's recently come up from featherweight. He's had some good wins in his last, 4 or 5 fights. He's been, pretty much on a roll. What does Eduardo Ramirez bring to the table in your eyes on Saturday?
I'm coming up from featherweight also. But I really, I don't, I don't expect nothing. I just expect me coming out with my hands raised.
Do you like I said, he's been a featherweight. You fought a couple fights around the 135-pound division. You feel you're the bigger man coming into this fight on Saturday?
No doubt, no doubt. I was a bigger man 126 and at 130 I'm the bigger man.
Does this play into everything in terms of an advantage for you in your eyes?
I mean, it could, but I don't see it that way. I just, I come in here prepared. I do my job the best I got. I'm not overlooking him. I'm not looking over past him. I know what I bring to the table. I know from that fight of Matisse, I evolved at a level that just a lot of people haven't seen yet. He comes Saturday night, no doubt about it. They will see that I'm starting. Yeah, they will see that I'm a star, and then I'm the next star of Puerto Rico. That's what they will witness.
The fights in New York, not necessarily Manhattan, but in Brooklyn, still New York City. A lot of Puerto Rican fans most likely will be in attendance to support you. Is it you happy to be fighting in New York City, where it's been known to back their Puerto Rican fighters?
Yeah, I'm super happy. I'm excited. I just can't wait, man. I can't wait for Saturday night. I can't wait for everything, for the outcome. After that night, I will never look back. And after that night, I will be in the face. I will be in the boxing. My face will be. They will be talking about me without a doubt.
Also, you're fighting a Mexican fighter, and obviously, as long a lot of boxing fans, the great rivalry between Puerto Rico and Mexico. Does that excite you as well to be fighting? To add to the Puerto Rican Mexico rivalry from over the years.
That's actually one of the things that most excite me. It excites me a lot because lately I've been seeing Mexicans be winning against my Puerto Ricans and all that stuff, and I just know I won't let that happen. I'm not gonna take no defeats from no Mexican. I'm gonna come in here and I won't let it happen. And it's really exciting. And also that he's a southpaw excites me even more. Like everything for me, it shine.
What's it feel like? Obviously, I believe you're probably, I don't know if you're the first fight on the pay-per-view or how that's working out, but it's a big pay-per-view event. Javonta Davis and Rolando Romero, they've been talking a lot about each other. It's really, this fight is really become a big fight now. And you're going to be one of the main attractions. How does it feel to be fighting on a big show like this?
I don't know how to explain it. I'm excited. It's just a blessing. It's a blessing. I put in the hard work. I've been patient. I have my ups and downs. I just keep going, and I know I keep an evolution. So like just the fact that I'm gonna be fighting on that card is crazy, man. It's crazy. Everybody's gonna be watching me, and after that night, sky's the limit, man. I want to thank all of them for the opportunity.
I mean, does some of your excitement also come from that? You had to spend, you fought 5 or 6 times in Colombia. You had to go down there and fight, fights where not a lot of people, were talking about. Now you're fighting in this big card. Did that experience now motivate you for what you're about to do on Saturday night?
Nah, cause I was born for this already. I know I'm prepared for it. You know, this was born in me as a kid. I've dreamed me being in the big lights, being in big, you know, showing out and showing my boxing skills, my power, you know, my excitement, my activity. I'm smart too. You know, I got a lot of IQ. I've been in the ring with a lot of, you know, sparring with, you know, I've done around 50 rounds. This camp I did 50 rounds with Tank. So it really don't know nothing, you know. I'm just gonna go in there, do my job, do me, do my fight, be smart, and everything should come out how I think, how I know it will come out.
So it's kind of like some inside news. It sounds like you were the main one of, if not the main sparring partner for Javonta Davis. So that's a. I guess that makes sense. You're fighting a southpaw. He's fighting a right-hand fighter. So I guess that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, my trainer told me, oh, they told me to spar 10, but he's not a southpaw, and I looked at him like, you call them back and say yes because he is a southpaw, and we went over there. We did like five sparrings. You know, first sparring we did 15, and then you know it was great experience. You know, it was a sparring that people have to pay to watch.
You obviously born in Puerto Rico. Which Puerto Rican fighter was your idol kind of growing up?
Well, growing up, I would see a lot of Trinidad, but you know but after I got bigger, 12, 13 years old, I was looking more Bazooka. I would look a lot Cotto, you know, but I was growing up and Cotto was the king. But I was more into Mayweather.
Oh wow, okay, all right. I'd figure a guy like Trinidad or Cotto would be your guy, but Mayweather, huh?
Well, they were my guy because it's crazy the type of love they receive from the island, and that's just the type of love that I want. You know, I want to go on my island, like I get there and they recognize me as one of the, you know, their greatest, and that's just my dream.
Uh, Floyd probably will be at the fight on Saturday night, I would imagine, being that it's Mayweather promotion show. Again, I guess the question I just thought of that probably excites you even more as well.
It really does, man. It really does. You don't understand. You know, it really does. My dream has always since a kid, was able to be around those type of people. It's not the same. It's not the same. Like right now, I don't care about him or nothing. But it's just crazy. Like I'm gonna fight in front of him, and I know that after I fight in front of him, he's gonna go crazy with me. I just know it.
I was,
So
I was,
it's more like it's more exciting even more. I get more anxiety and everything when I think about it. I get anxiety like damn.
if and when you get your hand raised on Saturday night, you're going to turn around, maybe find him in the first row, maybe wink at him or give him a little thumbs up after you get your hand raised on Saturday night.
Probably after, you know, after I do what I gotta do, and you'll see. I just can't wait. Right now, you know, I'm not even thinking about the fight because I'm really calm right now. I'm just thinking about just making weight, you know, maintaining my discipline, my sacrificing myself just to go through it the right way and not, you know, waste all my energy, make weight. I'm just in that position. My mindset right now is just that. But I'm ready for the fight. I've been ready for a fight. I could fight
even though,
today anyway.
even though you did not fight on the Canelo card last time, you fought the night before in Las Vegas, and it was a big fight weekend, a lot of talk, and you were around it. Does performing on a big weekend like that kind of help you prepare for what you're going to be doing on this week with press conferences and stuff like that?
I mean, this is bigger. To be honest, this is way bigger. But what really have prepared me is just my camp, my training, my trainers. That's what really have prepared me. My sparring partner. I've been sparring with a lot of top guys. Michelle, Tang, you know, Colbert, everybody, all type of southpaws that we get over here. And you know, definitely like there's people that say that, you know, for example, Tank is pound for pound and all that stuff. I could consider myself as pound for pound. I just gotta show it, you know, come Saturday night, and that's just my main focus. You know, come Saturday night, go in there and do what I know what I gotta do, and just execute and come out as a superstar.
There you have it. What do you want to say to the fans? Last question. What do you want to say to the fans before we see you in the ring Saturday night, Showtime pay-per-view, Eduardo Ramirez on the big Davis Romero pay-per-view? What do you want to tell the fans?
Man, tune in. You guys don't want to miss it. I will be the next star. Puerto Rico, this is the real Puerto Rican star right here. That's all I got to say. I don't talk too much. You know, I like to talk in the ring. I like to showcase in the ring. And come Saturday night, it's going to go.
Well, I think we lost Luis Melendez, but he said everything he needed to say. We look forward to seeing him in the ring on Saturday night, and we thank him for a few minutes of his time. We'll be ringside checking Luis Melendez along with Davis and Romero. Thank you very much, Luis, and we'll see you along the way. There you have it, Luis Melendez. Couple news items real quick. Nonito Donaire and Nayo Inoue, June the 7th, live, early in the morning, Japan, ESPN+. Juan Francisco Estrada will take on Joshua Franco on July 16th for the WBA Super Flyweight title. That fight, I believe, will be on the Zone. Real quickly, had a chance to talk to Kalvin Henderson, who's going to be fighting David Morrell on June the 4th, live on Showtime, and had a brief conversation with him. This how it went. Surprise visitor here to Philadelphia, Kalvin Henderson. A couple weeks away, I get to realize his dream fight for the WBA Super Middleweight Championship of the World,
yes,
taking
sir.
on David Morrell live on Showtime. A couple weeks out.
Yes, sir. Man, feeling really good, really strong right now, man. We having a really good game plan. It was good to come to Philly, get some really good tough sparring in, get some rounds in with the T. Oberson, and a really good look against David Morrell. And so, you know how we do, man. How gun will travel. So we travel all over the country for sparring, and Philly is one of the places we like to come in and get some good work in.
Is it starting to set in now that you're going to be fighting for the world title?
It's so hard because I can't get excited because I had to treat it like another day in the office. But definitely, I'm excited, man, in my own way. And so after the fight, once you get that belt, of course, it's going to be super excited and have a little party. But right now, man, stay focused, take care of business, do our job.
Have you looked at Morrell a lot? I know he's only had a handful of fights. Have you looked at him? And
yeah, most definitely. So he only had 6 professional fights, but he had over 100, 130 amateur fights. So we did I'm a student of the game too, so I do my homework. My coach Kevin Lightburn, he does his homework. We get together and get a game plan together, man. We make things shape.
Take us through the last couple of years. Obviously, you disappointing loss. You were injured in your fight on Showtime,
yes,
Showbox.
Yes, sir.
And then one fight later, your fight for the world title. It's funny how things work out.
That's our thing. God has a plan. You know what I mean? And so I think that fight on Showbox is supposed to happen. So those guys with Team Morrell would take this fight. If I would have knocked out Steen in the 4th or 5th round, I think they'd been a little bit more reluctant to take this fight. So everything happens for a reason. We got the fight made. We fight for the title. Let's go get it.
What do you want to say to the fans in closing before we see you on Saturday night, June 4th, live on Showtime? Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah, man, we're going to go to Minneapolis, man, win some more fans, man. But thank you guys for staying with Team Saul. It's been a bumpy ride, but we're here to take over. Stay tuned.
There you have it, Kalvin Hot Sauce Henderson. Fight for the world title on Saturday, June the 4th, live on Showtime. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on June 4th.
Thank you, dude.
There you have it, Kalvin Henderson. A few more news items, and we'll get more into his fight next week as well. Dylan Price will fight for the NBA title, NBA bantamweight title, July 16th at the Elevations Event Center in Chester, PA. Former world champion Jaime Munguia will take on Jimmy Kelly on June 11th at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. That will take place live on the Zone. Bill Haney, the father trainer of Devin Haney, will not be in the corner, it looks like, for his June 4th undisputed world title shot against George Kambosos in Australia. Haney had a conviction 30 years ago, so it's been very difficult for him to get a visa. Yoel Judah, the father of Zab Judah, world championship trainer in his own right, will be in the corner steering Devin Haney. So and I saw an interview with Bill Haney, said that, the Zab is Devin's godfather. So there's a long family history there as well. And finally, DAZN and Golden Boy announced an extension on their deal, multi-year, multi-fight agreement. It's looks like it's a 5-year deal with a monthly boxing series with my good buddy Beto Duran and Bernard Hopkins doing the commentary, plus all the championship fight nights that Golden Boy has, featuring the aforementioned Jaime Munguia, Ryan Garcia, Virgil Ortiz, Eduardo Ramirez. So we will see a lot of good fights from Golden Boy. I want to thank Luis Melendez for taking a couple minutes out for us. Kalvin Henderson. Also, this Saturday night, tune in 15rounds.com. I'll be ringside for the Javonta Davis, Rolando Romero fight. Also, Abrams Boxing on YouTube. We'll have a ton of video coverage, all the interviews, all the winners, all the losers, people at the fight, people around the fight. So I'm Marc Abrams, and we'll talk to you next week on the Abrams Boxing Show.